All right, guys, what's up? This is Event Horizon, and today I want to talk about Tupac Shakur and a few reasons why I think he's still alive. To me, it's like 60-40. 60% Tupac is still alive, 40% that he's dead. And I'm going to show you guys exactly why, and I'm not going to go into his song lyrics or anything like that because that to me is just kind of hearsay. Tupac left a lot of clues. I do believe he left some clues in his songs and stuff like that, but it's not solid proof. That's just hearsay, stuff like that. I'm not even sure if that stuff would hold up in court. But today, I'm going to give you solid proof on why I think Tupac is alive. All right, beginning with this. The FBI's most wanted terrorists list. And I want to show you the third person on this list is Joanne Deborah Chesimard. Okay, so I'm going to click that and the link is right here. Joanne Deborah Chesimard, also known as Assata Shakur. Okay, she was Joanne Chesimard is wanted for escaping from prison in Clinton, New Jersey, while serving a life sentence for murder. On May 2nd, 1973, Chesimard, who was a part of a revolutionary extremist organization known as the Black Liberation Army, or the BLA, and two accomplices were stopped for a motor vehicle violation on the New Jersey Turnpike by two troopers with the New Jersey State Police. At the time, Chesimard was wanted for her involvement in several felonies, including bank robbery. Chesimard and her accomplices opened fire on the troopers. One trooper was wounded and the other one was shot and killed execution style at point blank range. Chesimard fled the scene but was subsequently apprehended. One of her accomplices was killed in the shootout and the other one was also apprehended and still remains in jail. I'm pretty sure to this day. In 1977, Chesimard was found guilty of first-degree murder, assault, and battery of a police officer, assault with a dangerous weapon, assault with intent to kill, illegal possession of a weapon, and armed robbery. She was sentenced to life in prison. On November 2nd, 1979, Chesimard escaped from prison and lived underground before being located in Cuba. In 1984. She is thought to currently still be living in Cuba. The FBI is offering $1 million for her apprehension. Okay, so this right here is a family member of Tupac that escaped the United States government. She was wanted for murder. They put her in jail. She escaped jail, lived underground, and then escaped to Cuba and was able to get political asylum in Cuba, right? So then I just pulled this up. Assata was a step-aunt and the godmother to late hip-hop icon Tupac Shakur, the stepson of her brother Mutulu Shakur. Tupac's parents, Afeni and Billy, were active members of the BPP, Black Panther Party. And then I pulled up her wiki right here. And there's a whole bunch of information on her about, her murders and stuff like that. But I want to point out something very specific here. Political asylum in Cuba. The Cuban government paid approximately $13 a day toward her living expenses. So the Cuban government was only willing to give her $13 a day, right? And this was in 1984. So just imagine I don't know, that's not that much money in Cuba, but it's probably a decent amount of money, but it's not that much money. So what does a wanted fugitive who's wanted by the United States government hiding in political asylum in Cuba need? What does she need? She needs money. A lot of money. What does Tupac have? He had a lot of money. So it would only make sense that she would contact her stepson or whatever and be like, hey, if you don't like the way things are going over there, you think they're in, this is by, Tupac was getting locked up in jail. He was getting, charged with being like rape and all this stuff. And he knew that they were trying to lock his ass up in jail, just like they did his aunt or whatever, Assata, just like they did her. So he knew it was only a matter of time before they threw his ass in jail for life in prison. And they already had a grudge against him for what she did, for what his family members did, for what the Black Panther Party was doing in America. They were already pissed off at him for his family lineage. Not just, they're mad at him for shit that he didn't even do. Things that happened before he was even born, or when he was still a little kid. So it would only make sense that she would contact Tupac and be like, if you need to get out of there, you can come stay with me. He has all the money in the world. He has millions of dollars. The Cuban government's only giving her $13 a day. She's a wanted fugitive, scared that they're going to get her one day. What does she need? She needs money. So that would just give motive for Tupac to go there. Or if he was in trouble, call her for help. All right. And that's pretty much the gist of this. But I have one more piece of information here, because I've never seen a video, and I've seen a lot of Tupac conspiracy videos. I've never seen one that talks about Asata. And Asata is in my opinion, the most linked person who could possibly know where Tupac is to this day. And I do believe that Tupac is with her, or is around her, or maybe living in Cuba, down the street from her, in a freaking mansion with these hot ass girls smoking Cuban cigars. I firmly believe that. Why? Because she needed money. He was in trouble here, and history repeats itself. His family members were getting fucked over. He was about to get fucked over, and he was like, hey, I got to get the fuck out of here before they lock me up in jail for life in prison. And anyone would do it. And you have the money to do it. And a couple $1 million in Cuba, you live like a king for the rest of your life. All right. Then I want to go to this. This lady, Paige Hemis. All right. I'm going to show you guys a clip right here of this lady who just so happens to be on television, American television host, an entrepreneur, most famous for her Extreme Makeover Home Edition. I'm pretty sure I've seen something like that on TLC or something like that. She's 43 now. She's kind of around the same age as Pac, Pac would be. But I'm going to show you this clip, and just watch this clip, and then I'm going to continue on.
When it happened, we didn't know if we heard gunshots, or we didn't really know exactly what we heard. We heard a lot of screaming, a lot of cars screeching. We were just hanging out, taking photos at the time. We ran up the street as cops were running past us, and by the time we got here, they were already taking, which now I found out was Tupac, into the helicopter away. He had been shot. Into the helicopter away, which now I found out was Tupac.
All right. Now that you've seen that clip, and she says flat out that she saw Tupac after the shooting being carried into some sort of helicopter, right? So why would she say that? Some people would go speculate and say, oh, she was planted there by the Illuminati to say that, which I don't even believe. She's a TV actress. She was probably at the Tyson fight herself, and, the Tupac shooting happened, and she saw the news cameras. She's trying to make it in life. This is before she had any of this. She was young. She was trying to make it. She saw the cameras, and she freaking, said what she saw or made up something, which, I mean, you got to take what she says with a grain of salt, but why'd she say it? If it wasn't true, I just don't believe she lied on camera to millions of people about something so serious like Tupac, And then, so a lot of people have heard about this lady and probably have seen that clip, but here's what they haven't seen. Somebody actually reached out to her on Twitter and said, please reply. In interview at Tupac scene, did you say helicopter or ambulance? Because some people say, oh, it's been dubbed over. That clip's been dubbed over, and she really said ambulance. But a lot of people say, no, she said helicopter. So people are trying to figure out, what did you say? Did you say helicopter or ambulance? If heli, are you 100% sure that's what you saw? And she actually got back to this person. It was a long time ago. I saw a helicopter ambulance, one of those medical ones. When I heard shots fired, I hit the deck. All right. So now she's saying she saw a helicopter ambulance, which even makes more sense, because if people were trying to say, oh no, she mouthed ambulance. No, she actually mouthed helicopter ambulance. And I've seen those, the type that the Coast Guard flies or whatever. And also a helicopter ambulance, that'd be a good way to escape in. No one's going to think, well, Tupac's in a helicopter ambulance flying to freaking Cuba, So I believe that this holds a little bit of weight here. You can tell me what you think in the video. You can comment and let me know what you think. But I think that Tupac, it's a 60-40 chance. 60% he's still alive, 40% he's dead. In my opinion, he's alive. Because what did a wanted fugitive living in political asylum need? She needed money. The freaking Cuban government was only paying $13 a day. And this is in 1984. This is 12 years before 96. So in 93, 94, 92, she saw Tupac being charged with rapes. You know, she saw history repeating itself. You know, and I guarantee you, Afeni Shakur, she saw history repeating itself too, because they lived through this once before, and they saw the government prosecuting Tupac over and over, trying to lock his ass up and throw away the key. So I think that this lady reached out to him and said, if you need help, you can come stay with me in Cuba. No one's ever going to know you're here. You can fake your death and you'll be good. You got millions of dollars. You can take care of me. She was actually reunited with her daughter. It says right here in 1985, she was reunited with her daughter, Kakuya, who had been raised by Shakur's mother in New York. And that's all I got to say about this Tupac stuff. I think he's still alive. Like I said, it's 60-40. I think he's alive, but I'm on the fence, you know, just because it's been so long, and I don't think he's ever coming back. I just don't see the point. And if he came back, the government would just try to screw him over, not because he faked his death, but they'll try to screw him over because they hate his family. His family screwed them over, and they were trying to get even with him. They were trying to get even with all the Shakurs. They were trying to get even with the Black Panther Party and all that stuff. So that's all I have to say about this. I might do a follow-up video depending on the response to this. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Event Horizon. Peace out.